I'm Mac, and anyone who might be watching episode 103, which is perfect because today I've got my ASU. So it's like Fear the Fork 3. It's college day, so I got ASU. Fun fact, Joey Decor played goalie at ASU, and now he is an NHL goalie for the Kraken. So we got that going for us. Anyway, happy Thursday. For this episode, I'm going to read Remember the Other Story, singular. So after Yurt of the Turtle, right in the middle, you will find by Dr. Seuss, written and illustrated, this story. This clickety clack you hear, that's the manic dogs that are in the back. It's called Gertrude McFuzz. Love the name. Here you go. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail ever was. One droopy droop feather, that's all that she had. And oh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. Look at her face. Oh, little green sad feather. For there was another young bird that she knew, a fancy young birdie named Loo, and instead of one feather behind, she had two. Poor Gertrude, wherever she happened to spy Miss Loo flying by in the sky, she got very jealous. She frowned and she pouted. Then one day she got awfully mad and she shouted, "This just isn't fair. I have one. She has two. I must have a tail just like Loo." It is pretty spectacular. Look at it streaming out there in the back. One blue and one green. So she flew to her uncle, a doctor named Dake, whose office was high in a tree by the lake. And she cried, "Uncle Doctor, oh, please, do you know of some kind of pill that will make my tail grow?" "Tut, tut," said the doctor. "Such talk, how absurd. Your tail is just right for your kind of bird." Then Gertrude had tantrums. She'd raised such a den that finally, her uncle, the doctor, gave in, and he told her just where she could find such a pill, on a pillberry vine on the top of the hill. "Oh, thank you," chirped Gertrude McFuzz, and she flew right straight to the hill where the pillberry grew. It is. And look at her uncle had the same kind of little tail. Yes, there was the vine, and as soon as she saw it, she plucked off a berry. She started to gnaw it, and it tasted just awful, almost made her sick. But she wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. Then she felt something happen. She felt a small twitch, as if she'd been tapped down behind by a switch. And Gertrude looked round, and she cheered. It was true. Two feathers, exactly like Loo. Then she got an idea. "I know what I'll do. I'll grow a tail better than Loo. These pills that grow feathers are working just fine." So she nibbled another one off of the vine. I don't see this ending well for her. She felt a new twitch, and then Gertrude yelled, "Wee, Miss Lala, only just two, and I have three." When Loo sees this beautiful stuff, she'll fall right down flat on her face, sure enough. "I'll show her who's pretty, I certainly will. Well, I'll make my tail even prettier still." I don't know why it zooms in like that automatically. Computer AI. She snatched at those berries that grew on the vine, and she gobbled down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And she didn't stop eating young Gertrude McFuzz till she'd eaten 3 dozen. That's all that there was. Oh my goodness. Then the feathers popped out with a zang, with a zing. They blossomed like flowers that bloom in the spring. All fit for a queen, what a sight to behold. They sparkled like diamonds and gumdrops and gold, like silk, like spaghetti, like satin, like lace. They burst out like rockets all over the place. They waved in the air and they swished in the breeze, and some were as long as the branches of trees. And still they kept growing. They popped and they popped until long about sundown, when finally they stopped. Holy cow. That is so many feathers. Wow. Why? Why, computer? And now, giggled Gertrude, the next thing to do is to fly right straight home and show Loo. And when Lala sees these, well, her face will get red and she'll let out a scream and she'll fall right down dead. Murder by beauty? Yikes. That's a little dark. and she spread out her wings to take off from the ground. But with all of those feathers, she weighed 90 pounds. She yanked and she pulled and she let out a squawk, but that bird couldn't fly, couldn't run, couldn't walk. And all through that night, she was stuck on that hill, and Gertrude McFuzz might be stuck up there still if her good Uncle Dake hadn't heard the girl yelp. He rushed to her rescue and brought along help. Almost like he knew. It's like he knew. To lift Gertrude up almost broke all their beaks, and to fly her back home, it took almost 2 weeks. And then it took almost another week more to pull out those feathers. My, Gertrude was sore. So they had to fly her home on their necks and their beaks, and then they had to pluck all those feathers anyway. What is happening with this view? Stop with the automatic focus on my face. I don't know. Boom. I don't get it. And finally, when all of the pulling was done, Gertrude behind her again just had one. That one little feather she had as a starter. But now that's enough, because now she is smarter. The end. Oh my goodness. I made a mistake. Guess what? When I looked at this story with the other stories, and I said there was only one other story, I made a mistake. There's one more. I'll read it tomorrow. It's called The Big Brag. Oh, what a cotton-headed ninny muggins I've been. When I looked at the book and I flipped through, I'll give you a little preview. I saw some green wiggles. I'll show you. And I thought it was her feathers, so I thought it was only one story. But there are stories. I'm sorry, Dr. Seuss. Should never doubt you. You're a lyrical genius, and if you say there's plural, it's plural. My bad. So tomorrow, the last of the stories. Mea culpa. My bad. I made a mistake. My ninny muggins. Until tomorrow. I love you, Mac.